Hello ladies and gentlemen and all in between, this is your Sir Cons and welcome back to my channel.
1, 2, 3, come on!
Hello mga ka-confi, welcome back to another episode of our segment Chika Chika Galore with Sir Cons, where we talk about anything and everything under the sun, making sure that all the topics that we discuss will be very, very helpful to you. As what we all know, the economy of our country, well, not only our country, but I think worldwide, is actually not doing well. So for us to survive, we need to work. Yes, everybody wants to work, everybody loves to be employed, but for us to get that job, for us to get the position, we need to undergo this process, the employment process. And of course, this process will not be complete without your favorite interview, right? There are a lot who actually said that interview is one of the most nerve-wracking part, the most nerve-wracking part in the process, in the interview process, in the hiring process. That is why we need to be prepared for the interview. I myself personally, in my 30 years of HR, in my existence, I have tried to be interviewed less than 5 times, I believe. Because after graduation, I started my job as a teacher, as a college instructor. Well, that's my I was interviewed by that time, and before I graduated, of course, I had a part-time job, which is a call center agent. And after I get such position, I was, of course, interviewed. And when I applied in the public school, because yes, I've tried applying to the public school, and I was so blessed to be hired, but I just turned down the offer because of some personal reasons. And I believe I really had a fair share of experience when it comes to be interviewed. Before, when I was an administrator in a certain university, all those who will be hired, especially under my department, will really interviewed by me. So I have a fair share of interviews, and right now in the school where I am working as a principal, I also need to interview all those teachers who will be applying. And yeah, it's not an easy thing, it's not an easy job to do. It takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of heart, it takes a lot of understanding and comprehension. So that's it. Now the question is, why is it important to be ready for interview? Of course, we wanted to be hired, and we need to give our best, we need to show our best, we need to be our best, right? And answering the questions would eventually reveal how confident we are, and how knowledgeable we are, at the same time how skillful we are, depending on the requirements or depending on the qualifications that the work is looking for. Now, I will be discussing to you how to answer this one very common question. And the question is, tell me something about yourself. How to answer this very tricky. It sounds very regular, it sounds very basic, but sometimes that opening question will then be very difficult for some to answer. Now that will be our topic for today. How to answer the question, tell me about yourself. Well, interviewers will start with this open-ended question, tell me about yourself. There are 2 types of question, the open-ended question and the close-ended question. The close-ended question are those questions that can be answered with a yes or a no, or limited multiple choice, meaning you are barriered, you are limited to as to your answer is concerned. You cannot explore, and you cannot expound your answer. But when we say open-ended question, just like the question, tell me about yourself, you are given the freedom, you are given the chance to be creative, and you are given a chance to expound your answer in your own personal way. If you are asked with that question, tell me about yourself, this will serve as a icebreaker. It will serve as an icebreaker for you to feel comfortable with the interview process. At the same time, it will also reveal something personal about yourself.
personal gani about yourself.
This question might sound very easy, but it will be very stressful to some, especially if you are the type of person who doesn't want to brag on things. But of course, just like what I've said a while ago, we want to impress the interviewer, we want to be our best, so better be prepared for it. The interviewer will ask you the question, tell me about yourself. What do they really want to hear from you? So they just want to know your personal characteristics, and they just want to know indications that you are really the perfect choice, that you are perfectly fit for the position. They don't have the intention to know your life story. They don't have the intention to know your fairy tale. They don't want to know your wants. So how to really answer the question, tell me about yourself? Well, though it's quite tempting for us to really share and to brag our list of compelling qualifications for the job, we should be low-key in answering. If we start low-key, it will then be easier for us to build this rapport with the interviewer. We have to be very careful because sometimes being confident will be interpreted into being boastful. We have a lot of options as to the response for the said question. Example would include your interest, your pursuits, or you could even include volunteer works or any interactive roles that would show your characteristic, that would show your personality. Remember that they want you to tell something about yourself that is not found in the resume. And as I observed, there are a lot of us, there are a lot of those who are interviewed that what they are just giving as an answer are those information found in the resume. One of the goals of this question is to know you beyond the career and to know you if you can adapt to the culture, to know your personality, and to know on the job. And to make it more easier for you to create the response for the question, tell me about yourself, we have this formula. The formula is present, past, future, wherein we integrate our present situation and recalling past experiences and what is our future goal. Begin with a brief overview of where you are right now. So it can include your current position, or it may include your current job, or it will also include your passion, your personal preferences, your hobbies. Then you will immediately follow this or the reference of how you got to where you are right now, meaning you may include certain experiences in the past experiences that molded you to become what you are right now. It can include your internship experience. It could also include your previous job experiences, and many others, your volunteer works in the past. And lastly, we end it with a bang. We end it with a bang by giving your future goals. What do you expect to yourself? What do you see in the future? And just a tip, it would be better that your future goal, what you envision, will be aligned to the vision of the company, or it will align to the vision of the institution that you're applying to. So I will be giving a very specific example as if I am applying for a job, probably a teaching position, and I will be asked with a question, tell me about yourself. I would possibly answer this way.
I am very passionate with the arts, and I am a very creative person. What I am right now eventually is because of my previous experiences being exposed to the different creative works of people from the different walks of life. When I used to be a creative director to different events, it eventually opened my eyes to all the possibilities that a lot of colors and a lot of textures and a lot of things can be molded, and it can be integrated all together to create an amazing and a magical experience to everyone. With this, as I envision not only myself but the work that I would be working in the future, that I will be exerting effort, at the same time creativity in everything that I do. As a firm believer that education is both a science and an art, aside from the fact that we give them the information and the knowledge that they need, we also need to make sure that the whole learning experience is something new, a breath of fresh air. We have to be creative in teaching them that they will experience the world of learning.
Well, in that way, it was able to show that I am a creative teacher. I was able to show the creative side of me. So as my past experience as being a creative director to different events. So it also showed my passion to, to the arts, my passion for creativity. So that really tells something about myself. After sharing some personal aspects, we are going to have the transition from personal to professional. With that, we will be sharing some, characteristics that we have, professional characteristics that will then serve as our strengths as we go along the journey. If we will be employed, we are going to share some skills that we have. Just a caution, do not overwhelm the interviewer. That's what I've said a while ago. You might want to share a lot more, but you could actually tell the interviewer that you will be sharing more about yourself as you go along the journey, as you go along with the interview process. So we are done with the things that we have to say or what we are allowed to say. Now let's talk about the things that we should avoid. What are the things that we should not say? Number one, do not share too much or too little information about yourself. Remember that the interviewer doesn't want to know everything about you, but also do not be sharing too little information because they will be thinking that you are hiding something from them. Number two, avoid topics that are a little bit controversial, let's say about politics or about religion. So try to avoid those information, try to avoid those topics because sometimes your opinion, your stand might be opposing to what the interviewer is believing. Third, do not talk too much about a certain hobby or a certain passion that would then make this understanding or that could create the idea that you are giving more emphasis to your passion than your job. Remember, nobody wants to hire someone that keeps on having this leave, that keeps on having this vacation just to pursue his passion. Nobody wants to hire that kind of person. And lastly, avoid mentioning personal information about your family. You don't need to mention the name of your wife or the name of your mother, your father. Again, this will not help at all. They are not hiring your mother, they are not hiring your father, they are not hiring your family tree. What they are hiring or who they are hiring is you. You are applying, so it's you who will be hired. No need to mention those names. There you have it, mga ka-Confi. I hope that it helps you out. I hope that when you go to another interview, to another job interview, you will have the idea on how to answer this question, tell me about yourself. But just try to remember that the best answers are those honest and confidently delivered answers. Remember that the intention of this question is for you to show, for you to illuminate who you are as a person and who you are as an employee. And as what I've always said, coming prepared to a certain interview will boost the confidence. Coming prepared will eventually lessen the pressure. If you need to come prepared with a few things that you would like to share, but make sure that what you are sharing is eventually tied up to what the company is looking for. So to all mga ka-Confis out there that they're about to take the interview, good luck, break a leg, and get that job. Once again, this is your Sir Con saying always stay safe, stay at home, stay confident, and stay alive. Bye!